Welcome everyone, Costin here with my Let's Play of Age of Empires 4. Been waiting for this game for quite a while. Let's see if it lives up to all the hype and then some. When you start the game, you will be in the Learn the Basics tutorial, and you can also check the tech trees, all that. Then you have the Art of War. I think I'll do a video on just the Art of War at a later date, or maybe today after I do this first video. But with the early economy, late economy, base combat, early siege, late siege. But for now, I am going to go play the Norman campaign. You have everything else locked in. You need to complete the first two missions in the North campaign to unlock. Okay. So I'm gonna play on hard, select the campaign for veterans of real. Okay, the enemy is merciless, commonly attacking on multiple fronts and exploiting any weaknesses.
Some events leave a deep mark on history, but none on the land. This is the site of the Battle of Hastings. After almost 1,000 years, no traces of the bloody conflict can be seen. But here, the fate of England turned. It's where a king was killed, and his victor claimed the throne. October 14th, 1066. We know what happened here on this day, thanks to this. The Bayeux Tapestry. A carefully preserved, illustrated record of events. It shows the main players. Harold, the newly crowned Anglo-Saxon King of England, and his challenger, William, Duke of Normandy. William claimed the previous king had promised him the crown. So, he assembled an army and prepared to sail to England to fight King Harold for the throne. But a storm thwarted his plans. Meanwhile, Harold discovered that a Viking invasion had landed in the north. Another threat to his crown, so he raced to fight them. In France, William waited for the right conditions to sail across the Channel to England. The weather cleared. He seized his chance. 250 miles north, Harold had defeated the Vikings. Now, hearing of William's arrival, his army sped south. At 9 o'clock in the morning, on this hill, William's Norman army were ready to do battle with Harold's Anglo-Saxon men. The stage was set, and up for grabs, England itself.
Okay, the Battle of Hastings. I do actually appreciate all the historical detail that goes into this. William of Normandy began his conquest of England, but to end the Anglo-Saxon rule, he would first have to kill their king. 1066. So this is going to carry me from 1066 until 1217. Alright, that's all well and good. And let's see how this plays out. Actually, like all the historical focus, like they're doing the cinematics, all that. Some people have mentioned that there's a lack of character. I mean, certainly that's true. I mean, I don't think, based on what I've seen, that we like have William speak or anything like that, which is a shame. But yeah, it's what it is.
On October 14th, 1066, William of Normandy stood ready for battle at the base of a hill. The high ground belonged to King Harold of England and his Anglo-Saxon army. Here, on this hilltop, the fate of England would be decided.
So we have the shield wall. Okay, let's go attack.
William's Norman army made the first charge, launching a direct assault on the shield wall.
Okay, they are not dying, unfortunately.
Though William's army fought fiercely against the shield wall, it would not yield. As one man fell, another took his place. Overlapping shields in tight formation made for a near impenetrable barrier. Realizing his army could not break the shield wall, William called for a retreat.
Fall back, boys and girls.
William's feigned retreat was working. The Anglo-Saxon army broke their shield wall formation, leaving gaps for William to make a move.
Okay, so we feigned a retreat. I'm not quite certain that there was a feigned retreat in the actual Battle of Hastings. So we have Vanguard men-at-arms, which are Dark Age men-at-arms, and
with Harold's men no
horsemen.
longer in shield wall formation, William could pick them off as they charged.
Kill the Saxons. Okay, we're gonna be fine.
The Anglo-Saxons had deployed rows of spearmen to push back the invaders. But William
Let's
had an answer.
change.
His sharp-eyed archers.
All right, we got spears. They're hardened spearmen, so they're actually better than, well, comparatively. Let's keep going. And we have archers, regular archers. I don't like the fact that they're sending extra units into the fray the more the battle drags on. Oh, can't afford to lose Gabriel over there. Oh, that's the ability just to revive him.
More Norman men-at-arms reinforced William's army. Anglo-Saxon archers joined the fray, and the Normans' deadly cavalry ready to charge. But first, William's forces had to eliminate the enemy spearmen, whose
We're gonna
sturdy
fall
polearms
back.
could easily bring down a horse.
Let's just fall back a bit to regroup and use his ability. Alright, the cavalry
With the
is
threat of
charging.
spearmen cleared from the field, William's cavalry was free to charge at the Anglo-Saxon archers.
So we do have more spearmen over here. So these horsemen, all the units that he has, well, the horsemen and the archers he has, they're trash units, so they're weak units. And the Vanguard men-at-arms, they're the weakest.
The Anglo-Saxon army was in disarray. Their shield wall had been neutralized, and their numbers were dwindling. Now the only thing standing between William and victory was King Harold himself.
Not a problem. It's kind of tricky to target.
More Norman cavalrymen took to the field. The last of Harold's men encircled their king, prepared to lay down their lives to save his.
Let's finish it in a proper duel. King Harold had... No, it's not that's right, it's Godwinson, isn't it? Alright, send more men. I guess you do have an inexhaustible supply of units in this.
The Anglo-Saxon King Harold had fallen.
Oh, no more reinforcements.
In the confusion, some loyal soldiers fought to the death, while others scattered in panic.
There's the victory.
Leaderless and defeated, the last of the Anglo-Saxon army fled for their lives. The Normans celebrated victory over the English king, but William's quest to rule England was just beginning.
Well, that was a nice start. A nice, solid first mission to the campaign, and you have to do it. Pretty nice. So we get 3 videos. But I'm guessing this is the one we saw already, right? Yep. Okay. Nova Stella, Nova Strex. In April 1066, a bright star with a long streaked tail appeared in the night sky and burned for weeks. Its appearance coincided with the imminent invasion of England by William of Normandy. To William's soldiers waiting eagerly to set sail from Normandy, it seemed that the star's tail pointed directly at the Saxon king's castle in England. This was the divine guarantee of victory. It inspired the Normans' rallying cry, Nova Stella, Nova Rex, a new star, a new king. By the time the star passed, the Saxon King Harold lay dead, killed at the Battle of Hastings, and William the Conqueror became King of England. The long-tailed star is depicted on the bag tapestry, and we know it today as Halley's Comet. Okay, interesting.
At Guédelon in France, to understand how castles were constructed, they're building one from scratch, using just the tools and materials of the medieval age. It's a 25-year project, the world's biggest archaeological experiment. The most important defensive feature of any castle was the wall surrounding it.
Castle walls had to be incredibly thick in order to resist attack and absorb the impact of projectiles fired from trebuchets.
The curtain wall was over 20 feet deep, interspersed with towers. In earlier Norman castles, they were square. But while on crusade, European knights saw that eastern towers were round. They realized that eliminating corners not only made them stronger, but also provided a better view of the surrounding landscape. Completing the walls will take some 30,000 tons of sandstone.
Transport costs in the Middle Ages were incredibly expensive. So having a good supply of local stone close to the castle was vital.
To extract it from the quarry, first a row of holes is hand-drilled.
Once all the holes are ready, I'm ready to put in the iron wedges, and I'm ready to split it open by hitting very hard on each wedge with a big sledgehammer.
The stone is split into usable blocks, then transported using horsepower and human effort. This treadwheel crane can lift up to half a ton.
The walls are built like sandwiches. On the outside, you have facing walls built from better quality stones. And the inside, the rubble cores, they're built with softer stones and other offcuts from the quarry. And they're built up in layers with a very thick, coarse mortar.
This ingenious method makes the walls better able to withstand hits from a trebuchet. Sandstone is too hard to be carved into intricate windows, vaults, and steps. Instead, softer, more expensive limestone is used. These sophisticated building techniques make castles the ultimate feats of medieval engineering. It's a testament to their construction that so many still stand today.
Well, that was genuinely interesting, really. That was pretty solid. So we learned by action. Okay. Complete any. Okay.
At the Battle of Hastings, the death of one man changed the course of history. The Anglo-Saxon King Harold was killed here, on England's south coast. His army defeated by William of Normandy. Anglo-Saxon rule was over forever. At Westminster Abbey on Christmas Day 1066, William was crowned the first Norman King of England. Now he had to secure power across the country. He began by stamping his mark on the landscape, building cathedrals and castles at strategic locations. Nothing like them had been seen in England before. They reminded the Anglo-Saxon population exactly who was in charge. But not all were content with living under Norman rule. Anglo-Saxon revolts broke out across the country. King William acted quickly to crush these rebellions. But there was one region where dissent was spiraling out of control: the north of England. In 1069, a group of lords from Northumbria formed an alliance with Viking invaders. Together, they approached Norman-held York, a large city with an important cathedral, still protected by ancient Roman walls. But the walls couldn't save York. The city and the castle fell to the rebels. William's new kingdom was under threat. He had to get the city back under Norman control. William had no choice but to order his men north. But as the Norman forces set off on their long march towards York, how much resistance from the rebels would they encounter?
Okay, north to York. 1069. The second mission. King William's army faced an uncertain march to York, fraught with resistance from those opposed to Norman rule. I'm curious if I'm gonna just have trash units. I don't think I'm gonna have knights. I've seen some videos from people who got early access, so to speak, to the full release. But I'm curious what I'm gonna have. Like the first mission, yeah, you just get a couple of, you just fight an open battle with infinite units. I don't think you can even lose, really, to be honest with you. Maybe if you'll lose your general, but you do have the ability to revive him, so what do I know? Road to York. We have scouts.
William the Conqueror marched north, with his army of Normans determined to take back the rebel-held city of York.
Okay, we have some scouts. But in his path
stood rebel towns that harbored William's northern enemies. He would take the towns back by force.
Okay. So I'm gonna position them. Alright, gonna take my horsemen and use them against the archers.
The Normans captured the town of Middlethorpe, establishing their presence in the north. With reinforcements to his armies soon arriving, William would need more resources to supply them.
Okay, so we start.
Mandes, Cavallo, Paramsomes, Masono.
Alright, we're gonna need workers on. We need to get wood, houses, and farms. Wow. Guess what? I'm not gonna care about any of the shit that the game just said. They're gonna stay here, and we are gonna go scout. Still can't see stuff if I.
Sì.
Me ascolto. Edifico.
Alright, what I need is gold.
Spero.
Intendo.
Che comprendo.
We can get the barracks.
Solo.
What I really want is gold.
Quod ascolto. Lavoro.
Me.
Ubi vado? Sì.
But I don't seem to find. I can't seem to find any of it.
Fake. Che?
All right, so we can get the men-at-arms. Any gold, ladies and gentlemen? Come on.
Sì. Ok. Me. Ubi vado? Colones caminants.
Je suis votre serveuse. Retrayez vos amouets. Si comme votre
Okay, there seems to be only one path forward there. Alright, that was one attack. Probably should have gotten a lumber camp.
Attendez les commandements. Quand je commande, avant.
Another rebel town, Fulford, stood in defiance to William's rule.
We can capture Fulford.
Sì. Edifico.
Barat. Cavalazzi. Vado. Cavalarios.
Ubi vado?
Alright, get that lumber camp. So it would appear that I will need to use my trash units for this particular situation because, well, no gold.
What? Me?
Che? Aiuta! Lavoro. Bene! Move ici! Cursore!
At least not on this side of the river.
Barat, vado! Certe! Ubi vado? Ma sono. Ascolte.
Now, one of the things to say is that you really don't need that many.
Ascolte. Lavoro.
Oh.
Bene.
What?
Wrong one.
Edifico.
What? Ma sono.
Me? Lavoro.
Attendez les commandes. Avant, compagnon.
Fake.
Alright, we're gonna get.
Si. In avant. Ma sono.
To get to the feudal age.
Retrayez vos amouilles.
Audio.
Soyez wand, je commande. Avant.
Audi.
Je suis votre serveuse. Attendez, incontinent.
Well, maybe we can take Fulford without too much hassle
Au vostre service.
and find the gold we need there.
Allons. L'ennemi nos aguette. À la songe, avertissez votre courage, compagnon.
In avant. Cavallarios. Cavallarios. Quitamos. Voilà. Scarab.
Restus avant. Je prie pour.
Cavallarios parat.
Oh non, reste comme
Parat.
obéir cette vertu.
Kiek, caval. Redardine.
Obéir cette vertu. Au district. Oh non, est d'obéir. Donnez-moi vos satisfactions. Porte les agouettes.
Okay?
Donnez-moi vos...
Si est.
Oh non, est d'obéir.
Est-ce que
Je prie.
Arrêtez, arquer. Arquer.
Je cours à suivre.
Parat. Moment ici, arquer.
Obéir, c'est...
Mais? Colones caminans. Escolto. Ma sono. What? Laborant sapiens. Escolto. Vado.
Salves und ordonnance. Si comme vos...
Escoltes, colones. Comprendo.
With the Fulford rebels eliminated, William was one step closer to York.
But still no gold. Well,
Knowing he would face strong resistance in the city, William prepared to bolster his cavalry.
Colones parats. Cavo.
L'heure est...
Ubi vado? Lanche. Mauvais, serpientes.
well, we're gonna need more units. Thankfully, they have. We've gotten some reinforcements there.
Parats. Cavo. Okay.
We don't really need too much on.
Ubi
Soit
vado.
avertissez votre courage.
Too much on stone. I'm gonna sell some wood.
Spero. Si.
Okay, we can get the landmark.
What? Ubi vado? Edifico.
Parats.
Colones parats. Escoltes, colones. Lanche. Cito.
Avertissez votre courage, compagnon.
Mais?
Que?
L'heure, je suis votre...
Parate ambulance.
We're gonna have Vikings to deal with
Okay.
soon enough.
Si.
Just gonna get a couple more workers there.
Escoltes, colones. Escolto.
Escolto. Capere. Che?
Spero.
Vado.
Alright, more on food.
Ascolto. Laborant. Ubi va? Che? Laburo.
Certes.
Get men at arms.
Quod? Spero.
The Norman army came under attack from a new enemy, the Danes.
The Danelaw is coming. Alright, so we can repel the Danes.
William's army held back the Danes' attack, but they threatened to return unless William paid them in gold.
So we're gonna get early men-at-arms.
Parade pour venir.
We can't advance in the next stage, but
Buen labor.
increases the melee armor.
Arco parat. Quemandes.
Now I want to see what we have, because I might not need multiple archery ranges if I can only make archers. And yep, I can only make archers.
Colones. Parade se prends.
Alright, horsemen.
Vido, si.
It's gonna be the men-at-arms.
Soyez prêts.
Parate.
Asseyez vos armes.
Benedite. Sito. Attendez.
Pour votre service.
Alright, we're gonna throw all we have.
Si comme vos
Now,
volontés.
the reason these guys are
Soyez
key
continent.
to victory here, so to speak,
Votre service.
is because they're armored
Access si comme
and they're
vos
gold
volontés.
units. Gold units usually.
The Normans discovered the source of the Danes' threat, an outpost on the water. William had a choice: bypass the encampment, destroy it, or pay the Danes the gold they demanded.
We are not paying a ransom for this. I think historically someone mentioned that he did actually pay it. I'm just not that guy. There's a lot of them. My casualties are pretty high right now, but
Andes qued. Cos'è sarà massonara?
Quedme. Vado laburar.
Cos'è sarà
Parade pour venir. Cos'è sera maçonne.
ordines?
burn it, trash.
In destroying the Dane outpost, William stripped the rebels of a crucial ally.
Okay. Not too bad.
William's ultimate goal was within his grasp. All that remained was to enter York and destroy its keep.
That's not gonna be as simple as you make it out to be. Oh. Just getting used to the keybinds. Alright, so we gotta breach the city gates. Alright, I'm gonna get more food. Honestly, even if they have horsemen, those men-at-arms are the better choice. Alright, get those horsemen on those archers. Buff their attack speed. Oh. Alright, we're...
The Norman army poured into York and began sacking the town as they bore down on the keep.
Let's get more lumber workers. Alright, they're intercepting my reinforcements there. Well, the fact that they're stuck on the buildings is not a great situation. He could just as well be in one-man army. Oh dear. That's maybe a lot more than I can chew. What are you doing? Alright, we're gonna get more barracks. Alright, there's no more gold then.
Io ma sono la cose. Vado. Tuts odite. Vado laburar. Labour speranza. Cose sera massonata.
Oh, mais Péniès, serviettes.
All right, get more men.
Avant.
Just then I have enough to deal with.
Me ple.
Qued me? Ici va toast.
Buon labour.
Benefect.
Ci sommes.
Benefect.
Benefect.
Buon la...
Mande squid.
Ascolte bene. Benefect.
Parat pour laborar. Ici va toast.
Siso? Si, bene. Scarab. Une amone, cavallarios.
Don't underestimate the English.
Bene odite. L'esprit d'apparat. Escoute.
That was a lot of units there. On the good side, the game actually does... Wow, that's actually way too much. I'm gonna need an actual sizable army of my own to really... Oh, really?
Produit, une amende, serviettes. Attention, commode, Schiette, cavallo, e sala. Los salons.
Demandes.
Arrête, arquère.
Menace pour l'instrument.
I have all the upgrades you could imagine.
Arrête, serviette.
Oh. Well, that's no
Odio. Armement ici, arquère.
Je commande.
Attention.
drawing and pulling me in. So they've got longbowmen there.
Vostro service. Espulte. Madone, bene odite. Si, arrête. À la trouste.
This dude, so it doesn't say exactly what the effect is. Alright, we've got quite a few rams. I'm actually just gonna, destroy that building so we can get the full shot. Well, my massive army against their massive army. Let's see who prevails. My early men-at-arms against his massive...
Produite, serviettes. Une avance. Je peux.
Oh, send more units. The objective was pretty clear, by the way. We took York, but damn! Maybe it would have been easier had I gone the long way around, destroyed their unit production.
The keep fell to the Norman army, and York was secured. The Northern Rebellion was over, and William the Conqueror was uncontested as King of England.
That's certainly difficult, but I do get the taste of what I'm up against. Well, it would appear that the developers of Relic decided that the game they wanted to copy in terms of difficulty, at least based on the insane number of units that they just threw against me, was Age of Mythology: The Titans. And it's gonna be difficult, right? I can deal with it. Yeah, just as I beat Age of Mythology: The Titans with all the nonsense and all the units that the gang threw at me, or Age of Empires 3, really. I mean, I don't get it. It is doable, don't get me wrong, but it's like that horde of units, it was a bit much. So I have this video. So we have a recording, the intro message. So we have the Doomsday Book. William von England by the sword. Oh, what the hell am I reading? William won England by the sword and was merciless in replacing the Anglo-Saxon. Like I thought like this was like William von England. I thought it was the title. No. William won England by the sword and was merciless in replacing Anglo-Saxon barons with the more loyal Norman nobility. His harrying of the north killed thousands, but it was a land survey that truly cemented his rule. In 1085, William sent out surveyors across England to record the land holdings of everyone in his kingdoms. So thorough was the survey, it was said to be as if God was recording the state of the world on Judgment Day. The resulting Doomsday Book became the basis for land rulings for the next 8 centuries. Although William's heirs would fall into conflict over the throne, the Doomsday Book enshrined his people as the ruling class. Okay. And then we get the crossbow.
One weapon more than any other dominated warfare in the Norman period: the crossbow. 14th century crossbows like this were the culmination of centuries of development. With limbs made of steel, they were incredibly powerful. But earlier Norman crossbows had limbs made of wood.
There was a limit to how powerful these wooden bows could be.
So the idea that Norman crossbows were a powerful weapon is really a myth. Despite this, they were effective at medium range, and that was enough in battle. Drawing the bow repeatedly took a lot of strength. Thankfully, help was at hand.
A crossbowman spanned his weapon with a device called a belt and claw.
This gave him extra leverage, allowing him to use his back and legs to draw the string.
Crossbowmen were vulnerable on a battlefield, so they carried large shields called pavises, so they could hunker down behind, load, pop up, shoot, and then duck back down again to reload.
Crossbows were accurate, took less training, and used cheaper ammunition than the longbow. Most importantly, you could wait to take your shot, so they were perfect for siege situations. To protect crossbowmen when they were defending castles, they used specially built wooden galleries, called hoardings. But shooting down towards an approaching enemy presented its own problems. How to stop the bolt from falling off the crossbow before it could be shot?
What they did is just place the thumb loosely on the top of the bolt, which is just enough with light pressure to hold it in place.
Around 1200, the Norman wooden crossbow was superseded by a new design, the composite bow. With limbs made from horn and sinew, they could be made more compact than a wooden bow. and they could deliver up to 4 times the punch. They were, however, more expensive. So whether on the battlefield or the castle rampart, simple wooden crossbows remained the main weapon of the day.
Well, I guess we found out what Microsoft is doing these days. They're making, they're becoming the Discovery Channel, or the History Channel, or some combination of both, really. Yeah. Yep. I mean, I'm kind of curious, so I'm gonna leave the campaign mode, because I just want to see one mission. So we have Bayo. So we have Possession, Conquest. Okay, so that was what we did with William the Conqueror. And then you have the 100 Years' War. Right? The Battle of the Kalka River, the Mongol army. So we have the Mongol Empire and the rise of Moscow. It's interesting that they're starting the Battle of the Kalka River, which was closer to the end of Genghis Khan, so I'm guessing they're not necessarily going to focus too much on Genghis Khan. We'll see. But yeah, that's a start. I'm already level 7, by the way. I've only played 2 missions. Granted, I did play those missions on the hard difficulty, so I'm sure that's counting for something. It's interesting, like, you'll already know the end point in 1217 in Lincoln. Anyway, Costin signing out. Don't forget to subscribe, like, enable notifications. Stay tuned for more. Do check the playlist, check the Discord. I'm gonna be posting a lot of these videos there. And hey, if you do enjoy my content, support me via PayPal, Patreon, or for YouTube channel membership. It does help me.